Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to talk to you whilst you're on, your training for the big trek. Firstly, for anybody who's not aware, you're setting off on a huge fundraising challenge, walking 1,200 kilometres across 4 countries across the UK in aid of Headway, the Brain Injury Association, which is incredible. Isn't that like over a marathon a day?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it is over a marathon. It's about a marathon a day every day for, I think it's about 45 days it's going to take. So, it's quite a big ask and a big challenge for me.
It's incredible. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. We've had loads of questions come in for you and we want to get stuck in. Firstly, getting into the traitors, the juicy stuff. But before I say that, last night I was watching and you won on the National TV Awards. So the traitors won, didn't they, for the best reality competition? So congratulations for that. Everyone is...
It was all down to me. All down to me, that
all
was.
If
it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have won that award.
To be fair, I was literally watching it for you. I was gutted at the end. Sorry, no spoiler alerts, guys. But yeah, I was gutted.
I was too. £95,000 gutted, I was.
Taking us into the first question of how did you feel... did you feel betrayed at the round table? So obviously spoiler alert, but obviously was it pretty? How did it feel?
To be honest, I kept my feet firmly on the ground. Like, I'm not a stupid person. It's a game at the end of the day. I'm a sportsman. I'm competitive, and it's a numbers game. And I knew, obviously, Molly was like besotted with Harry, or fully fooled by Harry, I should say, not besotted, fooled by Harry. Jazz had suspicions of me anyway, and obviously Harry he wasn't going to stick with me. He was going to vote against me, obviously, because he's a traitor. So I knew I was coming about a few days before the final, to be honest. So I was, I'd come to terms with the outcome about 2 or 3 days before, and I was quite comfortable. That's why I left with a smile on my face. I said, I left I was fine. I was fine with it, to be honest. I knew I was coming.
No, you're honestly amazing. And at the end, I was like, is he going to say something about Harry? And I was like, yes.
Well, I had to, didn't I, to be honest, because I look stupid. If I'd gone for Jazz or Molly, knowing they were faithful, people would think, well, I was stupid. So obviously I knew what was happening. I knew Harry was going to go for me. There was no way he was going to split the money. Like, I would never split it with him. I'm not stupid. I knew he was going to go for me. So the only people I could go for, the only person I could go for was Harry, really. So I had no other choice.
True. No, honestly, it was so good this season. And then moving on with that as well, the traitors, what were the best and the worst things about it, being on there?
Oh, there was quite a lot of good moments, actually. Like meeting 21 other people, which were great people, great stories, lovely people as well. And just getting my story out there was really important. That's the whole reason I went on the show. It wasn't to be recognised in the street. And don't get me wrong, that's nice. I like talking. But if all that stopped tomorrow, being taken to free rugby matches and all that, if all that stopped tomorrow, I wouldn't care. All I wanted, there was a platform to talk about mental health, well-being, brain injury, trauma. So I want to break the stigma. I want to make the world a better place and help people, inspire people and motivate people. So get a platform that I got now. And that's the only reason I went on there. So that was one of the best things that went on there. That's happening now. And also, the worst bit, I suppose you could probably tell, was either being asked to be a traitor, because it goes against all my morals and everything I've obviously been brought up in all my life as a team player in sport and in my companies I worked with. I've always been a team player, a manager, help my teammates. To go against my teammates is something that's not natural for me. And also, even though I knew it was a game, but also the abseiling, I hated heights. I petrified of heights.
It was, but then that's why you'd be perfect to draw you in though, isn't it? That's the thing, because everyone likes you. They're like drawing you in. So no, it was a good game plan, to be fair. And then do you think that you would have applied to be on the traitors if you hadn't have had your accident?
No, to be honest, they approached me. I didn't apply for the show. They approached me to go on there. Oh. I had a casting director reach out to me on my Instagram page. I got a page on Instagram called Strength in You, which is basically the company I set up a year ago to talk about mental health and well-being, really. And so they approached me saying, would you like to apply for this show? Your story looks amazing. You seem a nice person. So I wouldn't have really been proactive and applied for it, to be honest. But I had to go through the process. But so they approached me initially. But I wouldn't have gone on there because I wouldn't have had the brain injury. I wouldn't have had the car crash. I wouldn't have gone on there. If it wasn't for my injuries, I wanted to change the world and help other people. I wouldn't have done that otherwise.
No, that makes complete sense. And I feel like that kind of leads into my next question, which was it being on the traitors that helped you open up about your brain injury and your mental health struggles? Or I guess it kind of blends into one.
Meeting the man who saved my life he gave me last year or 18 months ago. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to start helping people and inspiring people. Is he made me realise that how close I was to death, and he made me really appreciate life more. Whereas for 20 odd years, I'd look back on my life resentful, angry, with a chip on my shoulder, where I'd lost all the time, looking back. But now I've started looking forward. So meeting him made me realise, appreciate life more, and think to myself, yeah, I got to make the go of it. I got to look forward in life now rather than looking back all the time, and help other people, inspire people with my story. So I tick so many boxes. So I was in a coma, so I couldn't walk out again, had a brain injury. So I tick so many boxes. Growing up as a big, strong rugby boy, doorman, security, toxic masculinity, and all that sort of thing. And so I'm ticking so many boxes that I can help so many people and relatable to thousands of people out there.
No, it's incredible, and you're literally going to inspire so many people. I want to also ask you a few questions that people have sent in, DM'd in, general questions and a bit of fun. So what is your favourite sport?
Rugby.
Yes, I felt you kind of already answered that. I love it. Being a team player. I love this question. This one is, what is your biggest failure and what have you learned from that?
Failing, this is why I do my keynote talks. I talk about failing a lot. Growing up all my life, I was scared to try anything or go out my comfort zone. But I talk about it now a lot when I do my keynote talks, especially in schools, universities. Like say, I learn more from my losses and failures in life than I have from my wins. And it's not a bad thing to lose and fail. Growing up, there's a stigma attached to losing. It's a bad thing, but it's not. Your family still love you exactly the same. If you come first or ninth, or you lose, they love you exactly the same. You got to try and go for it. And my biggest face, embarrassing really. My son every year, he'd come over to me when he did to do the Father's Day race and Sports Day. Every year I'd say no, because I knew there were two boys there I was in school with who were quicker than me, so I would lose the Sports Day race. So every year he would come over to me, he was like 5, 6, 7 years of age. Oh, come on, Dad, do the Sports Day race. I'd say no. He'd run off crying every year. I'd ruin his Sports Day for him, because I wouldn't do the race. How crazy is that? I wouldn't compete in the Father's Day race. He wouldn't have cared if I come first, second, last. He wouldn't have cared, but I wouldn't do it. So yeah, I've learned. I think that's a sort of failure, I suppose. I regret things like I've got so many regrets in life for things I didn't try. But like I say, I learned back from it. My family still love me exactly the same. And in this world, we attach ourselves, especially with social media, to the material things in life. What we win, what we look like, how big our houses are, and all this sort of thing. It's nonsense. I said, your self-worth is your self-worth as a human being. You could be a good person. You might get 10% in an exam, or get a C in your exam, or a D in your grade, or fail your driving test 7 times. It doesn't make you a bad person. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I try to tell people. Your self-worth is your self-worth as a person, your values and morals. So I've learned that a lot over the years. That's what I've learned off a lot back of things.
No, it's growth at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah. Failure is growth and moving forward and everything. So yeah, no, 100%. Who do you admire? Who is your hero, Andrew?
My hero, God. It's crazy because I never get starstruck by anyone because they're just human beings. They're just people at the end of the day. I've never been like starstruck by anybody. I met lots of people over the last couple of months that I've done a lot of close protection work in London, looking after certain people. Right now, people to get autographs. And why? They're just people at the end of the day. They're just good at their jobs. They're human beings. We all come into the world the same. We all go out the world the same. So my heroes are people like my parents, for example. Just normal people, not famous people who've I like people who've come from nothing, built something, or turned adversity into something good. Like they've come back from something. I was in the House of Commons on Tuesday night at a trauma event in the House of Commons. So there was a guy there from the Manchester Arena bombing. He's in the blast. He was picking his daughter up from the concert, and him and his wife. He was in a blast, and he woke up a few weeks later in a coma to find out his wife had died. So, him, to me, he's a hero. That's incredible. Do you know what I mean? And I can't even comprehend what he must have gone through, being woken up and being told his wife is dead. He's incredible. So and he's now turned that adversity. He's helping others. He's inspiring others. He's a member of so many different charities, helping give back to people. He's keeping his wife's memory alive, I suppose, and doing great things. It would be so easy for him to crumble and just go down drinking, drugs, or take his own life, unfortunately. But he's turned it around and he's doing great things with life. So people like that, that's why I look up to, is people like him.
Yeah, people who've got purpose and inspiring people. Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah. I agree. And then we have what people wanted to ask you was, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Or what's your breakfast of kings for Andrew?
I do like porridge. I have wholemeal porridge, oatmeal oats, mixed with protein powder. And I also have blueberries on top, strawberries on top, with flaxseed seeds, chia seeds, and then peanut butter on top then. That's my breakfast I normally have in the morning.
Nice. Is that going to be your staple for the big trek?
My favourite breakfast, probably what I really want, because I'm going to be burning a lot of calories every day, is a good English breakfast with heck sausage. I like a heck sausage. They're really good. They're lots of different flavours, varieties. They're really delicious, actually. They're quite nice. So that's going to be my staple, I think, for my journey, because I know it's not the best of breakfast for English, but because I'm going to be walking a marathon a day, I'm going to be burning thousands of calories a day, so I'm going to need quite a few calories, I think. So yeah, I'm going to probably have a nice English breakfast where I'm staying.
Yeah, that high protein.
Yeah.
It's what you're needing to get through.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. And then moving on to Andrew, you are such a huge inspiration to many people, which I think reflects in the next 2 questions that I have for you. So what advice can you give to people who are going through traumatic change in their life?
God, that's a big question. God, just keep believing in yourself. Bad days will get better. You just need to keep believing in yourself, keep working hard, and you will get there. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And I know what it's like, because I was there for years and years, 20-odd years of mental health issues and everything. And it's like being in the bottom of a well. You're looking up at the top of the light. You can see the light. You just can't get out of that well. You're stuck in the bottom. And you think the whole world's against you. You isolate yourself. So I say to people, make sure you talk to people. Don't bottle things up. If you had a brain injury or whatever the trauma is, open up and talk. Like, I didn't open up to my family until 24 years after my accident. But I wish I'd opened up sooner. Bottling things up is no good. It's not healthy. And behind closed, I put a big smile on my face. I wear a mask every day. Get up, go to work. But behind closed doors, I was breaking. I was crying. I'd lie in bed, wish I was dead, wish I wasn't here anymore. I hated what I looked like, my scars. I couldn't accept my scars. But it's just learning to love yourself and don't beat yourself up. And make sure you talk and open up and talk to each other. Talk to your family. It might not even be a family. It could be your friends. It could be a work colleague. Anybody. Just open up and talk to someone.
Yeah, it's that connection. It's you get lost in loneliness, not knowing what's going on. It's that you need that support. I know Headway's really good with our helpline calling. We have loved ones as well who call because they don't know how to help and support family members who've had brain injury. So it's that connection, it's that support to talking to people and not feeling on your own.
Injury.
No, agreed.
Yeah, brain injury doesn't just affect, obviously, the survivors of brain injury or the people who've been affected by it. It also shatters families, to be honest with you. Obviously, relationships, puts a huge strain on relationships, on the children who've maybe got to look after the parents or look after the mum or dad, or there's a huge strain. So it's not just the survivors who've gone through it, like me. The strain it must have put on my family, the psychological effect on my family. Sometimes people might have to go at work to look after people. They might have to adapt their home, for example, which costs money. So there's lots and lots of repercussions, which last for years and years and years. It's not, they patch up in hospital, send you home, but then they don't tell you what the mental health battles, the dark days are going to come. They don't tell you what the financial implications. They don't tell you all that sort of thing. So, that is a massive thing.
Yeah, no, 100%, the more support. Yeah. I also want to know, and everyone wants to know, what are your short-term and long-term goals? I mean, I know you have so much going on. You're throwing yourself into it at the moment.
Yeah. Short term, I just want to be happy and be fit and healthy. My health is really important to me, and it always has been, to be honest. But if you're not fit and healthy, you can't help anybody else, to be honest with you. And when they first come out, the traitors, that went by the wayside, to be honest. I was saying yes to absolutely everything. I stopped being me. I stopped doing the things that made me me. So going for the gym, for example, eating healthy, for example. So, and it's true what people say, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you've got to look after yourself first. And the pillars that make me Andrew went out the window for months and months and months. So people were getting me at half my capacity. I was tired. I was stressful. I was irritable. I wasn't eating properly. I was implementing things, saying no to people is not a bad thing. And you have to look after yourself first. So, first and foremost, that's always the short and long-term goal, is looking after my mental health and my physical health as well is really important. But also I want to just help break the stigma that surrounds open up and talking. I want to give back to thousands of people out there who are suffering in silence. I'd love to help reduce the suicide rates, especially in men. That's a long-term goal, because it's just ridiculous, the numbers, to be honest. And, we're the most educated population the world has ever had, with so much information at our fingertips, but the figures are going the other way. So obesity is at an all-time high, with, billions are costing the NHS billions. The suicide rates are increasing, and the debt is ridiculous. So I want to educate people more about feelings and well-being. Open up is not a bad thing. It's not a weakness to open up and talk to people and all that sort of things. That's my long-term goal, so I'd help change the world and make it a better place, really.
That's just incredible. You have such amazing purpose, honestly. And then moving on into the big trek. So we had quite a few questions about more information on that. So people want to know what exactly the big trek is, whereabouts the locations will be, and how people can find you.
The big trek, basically 25 years ago, after my road traffic accident, after my coma, I woke up to be told I'd never walk ever again. So now 25 years later, I'm walking 1,200 kilometres. As I'm proving people wrong, I want to show people out there who've had a brain injury, a trauma in life, been told they can't do something, told they're not good enough, lost their self-confidence, they don't believe in themselves anymore. You can achieve great things in life. So for me to walk that distance is a huge achievement for me. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be really hard. And it's going to be hard every day, but I'm going to push through it because I'm quite strong mentally and physically. So I just want to show people out there, you know, keep doing things. So I'm started off in Ardross Castle, where we filmed The Traitors, right at the top of Scotland. I'm then going to a castle in Lancaster, in England, Lancaster Castle, on a ferry across the Northern Ireland to go to Carrickfergus Castle, back across then to Wales, down through Wales, finishing in Cardiff Castle then. So I'm covering 4 home countries and 4 castles. But I'm also stopping every few days in a school, a university, a club, a shop, to talk about mental health and well-being as well, and brain injury and things like that. Do lots of talks if I can, try and, you know, touch as many people as possible, really. So yeah, it's a big challenge, but I'm really looking forward. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just like a really amazing way as well. People get involved, you inspiring people. Like, it's just such a huge project to take on. It's going to have such a massive impact. Yeah. We also want to know, are you going to have any traitor pals stepping in, meeting up on the way, or any surprises?
There's going to be a few people joining me, a few of the traitors. Yeah, I've had a few people to come and join me, a few people in Scotland and come and join me. I think Evie, Brian, there's a few up in Scotland. Yeah, there's a few up there, I think. And then, yeah, there's a few others who said they're going to join me in Manchester area and things. So I'll put a message in the group chat now to confirm exactly who's going to come.
Oh, amazing. It's so exciting. Yeah. Can't wait to follow you. And then finishing off on the last question. So what will motivate you the most to keep going when the challenge gets really tough, especially knowing that it's for a cause for Headway UK?
Yeah, just helping people out there. That's what's going to keep me going. You know, thinking of the people, finding my purpose and my why, which is important in all aspects of life, not just the challenge, really. You've got to find a purpose. Once you've got your purpose, that'll keep you going through the dark days, through the down days. That'll keep you going. Like, my motivation in most things I do is my son, my family, my son. But also this one as well, I suppose I want to show people out there, the people suffering in silence, people who've had a brain injury, unfortunately, they can't walk, or they can't, you know. I look at myself, I was so lucky, you know, to walk, use my arms and legs, be able to feed myself, be able to talk. I'm so grateful for life, and I just want to, this is for these people out there who are not as lucky as me, who've had a brain injury, who maybe suffered a trauma, who are not in a fortunate position as I am, I suppose. So this is for them, this is for everybody out there. You know, you can do good things, and I want to, you know, change the world, and that's for them people, really. And hopefully, you know, my Give Star page, or to find you mentioned just now how people can find me and sponsor me. There's a Give Star page out there, which is you can donate on as well. So just for all those people out there, give people hope. There's so much negativity in the world. There's so much doom and gloom in the news and things, and you know, I just want to be a light and a beacon of hope. There is good things out there, and there's nice people out there, and good things happening. You know, like, I don't watch the news anymore. Like, you've got the COVID crisis, you've got the financial crisis, you've got the wars in the world going on. As soon as you open the paper or turn the news on, it's grim. There's never any success stories. Well, so-and-so had a baby, or so-and-so did this, or why is there not happiness in the world? Why is there not happiness? The world's a tough place.
Like, positive messages, that's what we want. And you're just educating so many people, going to have such an incredible impact. And yeah, like you said, people can go to Give Star to the Big Trek if they want to donate to Headway, and also if they want to just find out more. You post in there as well. I've seen different things that you're up to, so they can keep track of you there as well. And also you put it in on your Instagram and your socials as well, where they can click on the link as well to get to that. So yeah, honestly, you're so inspiring. I've been so excited to talk to you and ask you these questions. It's amazing. And honestly, thank you as well, everyone that sent in all of your questions. It was really hard to kind of choose which ones we wanted to go for. But yeah, honestly, we are all going to be following you on the Big Trek. And yeah, can't wait to get all the every little inch of it. We're so excited. So thank you so much,
Andrew. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.